doing here? I saw him this morning.
Electro beacon in the night.
Patrolling for work, I
Uh-oh. The number 7 is in. Eaton.
guess.
Ron Eaton giving up valuable track
Really?
position.
Really? Well, the restart third.
But he might have run over a piece of
Changing
fiberglass.
back. Yeah. They're changing back.
What about him? What does he do? Passing everybody. Did he lose another lap?
He's
all stop.
Let's see where he is here. He's not in our first 20. Oh yeah, he's 10. He's back on the lead lap. He's showing 10.
Oh, just going by some cars and passed him back.
I thought they couldn't do that. Oh yeah,
What?
there you go.
There, what? Oh.
Oh man,
No comment.
really?
Not me. I'm not going there.
That's for the new.
I don't care. I'm still not going there. Woo.
That's for the new R-rated racing channel that's coming soon.
Oh, you didn't? Did you think I thought that was real? Wow. Rodman? Reed?
No.
Look at that.
No.
Somebody lost a position there. Yeah.
It is. They ought to be counting that.
Yeah, God, please.
Be here till Tuesday.
I got a speaking engagement tonight.
Do you?
Yeah.
Just when he grabs his wallet.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're a horn player in an earlier life?
Oh, yeah. Trumpet. Oh, good. They're putting down some sand, guys, on the front straightaway.
Yeah, that'll help things, won't it?
Oh, great.
Yeah, most of that natural stuff has already blown away.
Yeah. Green and yellow. So does this mean they start scoring again?
Thank God. Yes, they're scoring. The green is out with the yellow. 79. They can hear something.
That's it.
There's the car that started it. See? See
Yep.
the right door?
Yep.
Whoa. That's Bubba's. That's Bubba's. Up. Up. Oh, he's in
Like the rabbit in Pocono.
third. He's in third. Great shot. Now, where is that located? This could be debris on the speedway. Back straightaway.
Jacques debris.
It'll be out of there in a hurry. Look at this. Getting in the groove. That is a camera. What? Please get the.
But he's ready to leave port. Oh, nice.
Oh. It's bizarre. Look at that. Look at this. Hey.
This drawer and see what an electrical punch is.
So what's the deal with the fire downtown?
At our hotel?
Yep.
Wow.
God. Man, my favorite.
Good, Pam. Good, Pam. That was great.
Yeah. Hey. My favorite shirt's in the hotel. I hope it don't burn.
Did you hear
Going
that?
across
He
the
said his
street.
favorite shirt was in that hotel.
My favorite shirt's there, man. Don't let that place burn down.
I feel the same way. I just bought it.
Uh, No, I mean my favorite shirt's in that bar.
Oh. Pinned to the wall, no doubt. Huh? The dollar bill stuff.
Yeah, it's part of the act tonight, man. and I was gonna go, and now you tell me the place is burned down.
Uh-oh.
Oh, golly.
It ought to be easy.
Hey,
It ought to be
the adult
easy.
bookstore next to the hotel.
It ought to be
That's
easy
what
to
they're saying.
contain
It's
Yeah.
full of
with
paper.
this wind like this. Yeah.
Sure.
Fan the flames.
Sean Monroe back in the pits. They go to the right sid. They
We
start
could start a
working.
fire in the grandstand and
Yeah.
flame the fans.
We didn't start the fire.
Uh-huh.
Surfer dude is having lots of
I
problems.
know.
Yeah. He needs some wax, no doubt.
They're cutting away.
He's wiped out the whole left front.
They're working on the right front.
Actually, the toe end's out. Actually, the toe end is way out. Well, if it's towed in, why is it called out? That's
Toe
right.
up hanging 10, dude.
I like that. Towed in,
It's
towed out.
toe
No,
up.
man, it's toe up. Hurry, 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 hurry.
Uh-oh. What is that
He made it.
spoiler on the front there?
What's the what?
He's got a piece sticking straight up. Go ring. How many? Never mind. How many more?
Yeah, they're waving the yellow vociferously.
Oh,
Scored 3 laps.
that's a good shot. Cut away them bars. See? That's
Bob
the door.
Lyon.
That's the door bars
Yeah.
they're cutting off. Out. Cutting out. We're not going green yet. That gives Sean Monroe some more
One more
time,
time. One
to
more lap.
remove the nose. I'd take the whole thing off. Quit playing with this piece and get it off.
Yeah.
That'll make it a lot safer. Once they get it fixed.
Now, will they let him go back out like that, or will they have to slap somebody for some sheet metal?
No, he can go with the exposed bar. Man. Wonder what kind of teaser we'll have next year.
Chassis. Do we want to get a word with Hornaday?
Yeah.
Now they're showing the green and yellow again.
Well,
Past winner Ron Hornaday said, "What is this guy doing in the grandstand doing a yellow flag on the top? He's lost as ever. Whoa.
Really?
Keep him away."
he's dressed like a NASCAR official.
I'm telling you, if he's near
Yeah,
the,
don't-
if
Oh,
he's
he's got a whole
near,
set of flags in front of him.
hey, if he's near
That's
us,
okay
keep
for a
him
kid
down.
to do it, but not for an adult.
These
He's-
people make me
Martha
nervous like this.
says he's from Bakersfield, and he did the same thing at Bakersfield all
Oh, come on.
day. We need to take up a collection and buy this guy a life.
He's giving one to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Welcome back to Phoenix International Raceway, the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour on the Speedway. Craig Rodman, your restart leader, into the pits quickly before we go back to green. Actually, they started scoring a few laps ago. Still under caution with that big wreck coming out of turn 4, but 83 miles are now complete, and Craig Rodman will have the restart lead to show you the top 20 the way they're running right now. Michael Alsop, buddy, we watched him lead early here. He'll restart 12th. He's not in bad shape at all.
Well, got a lap down. Fought very hard to get his lap back, and now he's right back up in 12th spot in pretty good track position.
A lot of cars suffered heavily damaged in that pileup just a few moments ago. This is Bob Lyons, number 44. They had to put the door bars together again on the right-hand side of the car. Lyons still strapped into the machine. They've got a lot of work to do. Bob Lyon 5th in points coming into today's final event of the 1986 Southwest Tour season, hoping to get him back in there for a few more laps. Green is back out. We're racing once again. Mark Reed leads him to the stripe. Craig Rodman had made that stop, so that put him behind in terms of track position. So Reed takes him to the green flag. Chris Rodman, the 96 Series champion, running in second spot now, and Doug McCowan is up to third.
Well, I really think that McCowan worked on his car and got it really handling good. He's running in third spot. Just a little bit ago, he was pushing in the middle part of the corner and losing a lot of valuable time in the corner, so he looks to be up to speed now.
John Walsh in the 28 ducking low there. That's the white cars. They come up onto the main straightaway. McCowan is third. Walsh in the 28 running fourth. Got a lap car right in front of him there. Trying to keep pace, get back on the lead lap. 28 Walsh running in the number 4 position.
Excuse me, Walsh is all out of shape there in the 28 car. I watched him just on the restart there, and I was hoping it was cold tires, but just staying with him. That car is extremely loose in the corner.
Leaders work through 3 and 4 up onto the main straightaway, and here's Scott Hansen in the 53. He restarted back in 9th spot. He's picked up a couple of positions here in the early going. So Hansen, the defending race winner. In fact, he's won 2 of these 300-kilometer events that wrap up the Southwest Tour season in the last couple of years. So Hansen running nicely now as we move toward the second half of this race. Hansen barely escaped in that big pileup a few moments ago during the red flag period. Randy Pemberton had a chance to walk up and talk to Scott Hansen, find out how he made it through the pileup.
Scott Hansen sitting here. You just barely missed that wreck. Could you tell us about it?
Well, I tell you, they really had a heck of a wreck up there. There was 3 or 4 of them climbing the walls, and I seen it coming. I started waving and slowing down, and I had to actually accelerate into it a little bit because the guys were coming from behind, and I don't think we got a scratch anywhere. I think we should be in good shape.
What about the conditions out there? Wind pushing you down the backstretch pretty good?
It is. We picked up 200 RPM since we practiced. The biggest problem is the front stretch. It's trying to tear the hood and fenders off, but hopefully it'll settle down a little bit and we'll get going here.
Hey, that's Scott Hansen, last year's winner.
Hansen trying to get going on the inside. Buddy, one thing I've noticed, not too many guys are willing to try the high side here.
I don't think there is a high side right now with the wind and the dust that's on the racetrack. And not only that, they put some oil dry down because of the wreck on the front straightaway, adding to the outside line of being really dirty right now. So I don't think you'd want to get out of the groove at all.
Leaders working up onto the main straightaway, coming out of 4 as we keep an eye on Scott Hansen, up to 6th now in that 53 automobile. John Cox in the 66, the blue car on the outside, the dark blue machine. He's a lap down, being shown in 15th spot. Look back a little further in the pack. Cox there trying to hold off the 79. Gary Smith. Now Smith on the move. He led an awful lot of this race early on. Smith is up to 8th. Made a bunch of pit stops to get going again.
He did that, but he has the I guess the best left side tire to anybody out there right now, and he's really making it work. You can see he's passing it well in the corner.
Hansen in the 53 making the pass on Doug McCowan. So Hansen is up to 5th now, and he is rolling. The 35 car running in 4th spot directly in front. Kevin Richards from Spokane, Washington. He's worked his way up into that lead group. He had not been shown among the leaders yet this afternoon, but he is on the move. McCowan in the 34 is 6th. Smith in the 79 is 7th as they race for position. Up in turn 3. Pox back there in the 66. Back a lap down, so he's back in about 16th position. Meantime, out of the main straightaway, the 35 of Richards, Hansen in the 53. This is a battle for 4th spot now as they work into turn 1. Hansen willing to go up a little higher on the racetrack and try to work on Mark Richards.
What he did, he went in the corner and kind of looked like he was going up high and then cut back down in the center part of the corner there, trying to, I guess, make him look in the mirror and maybe get offline just a little bit.
Richards still holding off Hansen as they work out of turn 4. Gary Smith is right behind him in 7th spot. Now Hansen takes a peek down low on Richards in the 35. A couple of white machines here. Racing down the main straightaway. Hansen, the ASA star in his Jerry Gunderman car. Trying to stick close to Richards and maybe move around and pick up 4th spot as they work up through turn 2 right now. Field getting the cross flags to indicate halfway. So we've run 93 miles here this afternoon of the 186 that will make up the 300-kilometer show. NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour to close the 1996 season. That is a great battle for fourth spot. Richards and Hansen up onto the main straightaway once again. Gary Smith, buddy, has been unable to get very close and become a part of that. Smith doesn't seem to be as strong as he was earlier.
Well, just keep an eye on him because I really think his car is good on long runs. You see him coming up now. He's closed in within 2 car lengths of Hansen. Looks to be really good in the corners. I think he's going to be a factor.
Kevin Richards in the 35 holds on to fourth. Scott Hansen in the 53 is fifth. Now Gary Smith in the 79 indeed starts to reel in those 2 cars, so we may well have a 3-way battle for the fourth spot here in just a moment. Now Hansen takes a look inside down into 1, but can't get the job done. Richards able to drive it in a little deeper, it looks like, as they work into turn 1. Now Smith starts to move off the second corner. We've got trouble over in that part of the racetrack. It looks like it might be the 4 car involved over there. We'll take a look and see who that was. 1 car out of shape. We stay green, though. No caution indeed. Everybody stays straight. That's the 8, actually. Ron Peterson from San Bernardino, California, who got down low, kicked up a lot of dust down through turns 1 and 2. So we watched Doug McCown work by. Up onto that at turn 4. The 37 is Keith Spangler. Let's go back and show you what happened just a moment ago to the 8 automobile. Ron Peterson's car down in turn 1 and 2. Let's see what happened here, buddy.
You see Peterson there. He goes in, makes contact with McCowan as they go down in the corner. He's really battling this car. Great job of control there. Had he went back up in the racetrack, you can see he would have got all these cars that you see in the frame.
Nice job to keep it down low and stay out of trouble indeed as we look back up toward turn 3 and 4 right now. Some good battling on the racetrack going on. Everybody chasing Mark Reed in the 73, who's your leader. This is a battle for position a little further back. We check back in on the battle for fourth spot. The 35 is Kevin Richards. Scott Hansen trying to hold off Gary Smith for fifth spot. Glenn Jarrett, what do you think?
Two.
And the 2 car is on pit road as well. You see Craig Rodman's deuce. He had led earlier. He's down on pit road. This battle for fourth is a strong one. Let's go back to Glenn Jarrett.
Now as he just came in, a little bit of smoke coming out of the car. They got it back, jacked up on the back end. You can see, I think he may have a rear gearing problem. There was a lot of smoke coming from the rear end of the car. It was running when he came back, when he came by me, but I don't think he's going to be able to get back out there. It looks like a gearing problem.
Craig Rodman had led a lot of this show earlier. He was up in the lead group, but he had fallen back after the last round of pit stops to 12th. Now this battle for fourth. Hansen to the inside. He's going to give up ground to Smith.
You see Hansen just pull over and let him go. He looked in the mirror, and Smith had been coming so fast on him. He said, I'm not going to hold this guy up. He moved over. You know what? Later on in the race, if it's a table turn, he'll remember that and get out of the way and let him go.
Gary Smith with a nice move there to move into fourth spot. That's the red number 79 car, one of Ron Eaton's machines that team rented for this weekend here. And now he's got the 35 of Kevin Richards in his sights. Richards remains fourth. Smith is fifth. Hansen back to sixth now as they race down toward turn 1. Gary Smith from Vancouver, British Columbia, lapping by one of the cars involved in that earlier pile up there. Looks like the 67 of Doyle Olson.
I'm just looking at Smith's car on the very front. He has a nick right in the middle part of the front spoiler there, and I think it's hurting the aerodynamics on that car, maybe making it push out just a little bit. You see, he's not able to hold a low line, but he's getting the job done on the outside, so apparently it's not hurting him as much as I thought it might be.
Gary Smith moves around the 35 of Richards to take over fourth. The series champion on pit road with problems. Here's Randy.
Well, they believe it may be a broken rear end. Yes, it looks like from the looks on the guys' faces, they could very well be done for the day. Chris Rodman has already been crowned, should we say, the 1996 Southwest Featherlight Tour champion. 17 starts coming into this race, 2 victories, 13 top 5s, 13 top 10s. They're still going to work on this thing. Go ahead and put it up on jack stands, but he won't go to victory lane here today.
Big irony, both Rodmans out of the action, at least for the moment, both with rear end problems. So 2 good cars in the series on pit road, on track. We've got a good battle. This is for 7th. Jim Englebright in the 50. Michael Alsop in the 61, battling for 7th spot right now. And Ron Eaton in the 7th car. He's back in 9th, so we've got 3 together on the backstretch. This is a fight for 7th and a good one, Buddy Baker.
Yes, and I'm watching Eaton there. His car is able to stay really low in the corners. He seems to have a good running car through the corners, but look at Alsop's car go down the straightaway. It's really good.
Eaton to the inside of Alsop, and he'll gather up the spot going down into turn 1. So Ron Eaton give him 8th position now as he moves by Michael Alsop, 61. Jim Englebright, meantime, in the 50, holds on to 7th, and he rolls away at a couple of car lengths over Eaton. Up in front of him, he's got some cars to work on. Well, that car, that's Sean Monroe's machine with that heavy front end damage. Monroe, one of the cars, caught up in that big main straightaway tumble a short time ago that brought out the red flag here at Phoenix today. Englebright in the 50, the green car. Alsop in the 61 behind him in 8th spot. Englebright is 7th, Alsop is 8th. Alsop all alone. Remember, he was the pole sitter here today. Alsop up onto the back straightaway with 83 miles to go. Let's show you some trouble down in turn 1 here.
Oh, he's up in that dust that I was talking about. You can see the car get sideways there. I tell you what, that was real serious there. It didn't look like much on the camera there, but the car was all the way sideways. Had he been on radial tires, he would have had a lot more work to do there.
That was Ron Peterson again in the 8. He's the same driver who went down low and out of the dirt a moment ago.
Well, I was just looking at him as he was coming through the corner there. He's still a little bit loose even down in the preferred line, but wow, this is good racing.
Good battle here. The 21 automobile is Ken Peterson. He's 14th. The 22 car being driven by Bill Lawrence. He's 15th. And we check back in with the Bill Englebright and Ron Eaton battle. This is for 6th now. Englebright is 6th. Eaton in the 7 is 7th. He wants to make a change on that down into turn 1. Eaton looks low on Englebright as they work toward the backstretch.
Well, you see Englebright taking a little wider line. He gets a little quicker jump off the corner, but I really don't believe he's going to be able to hold Eaton off because he's able to run lower into the corner.
Eaton makes the pass down in turn 3, so give Ron Eaton a spot. He moves up to 6th, getting by Jim Englebright. Ron Eaton is moving toward the front of the pack. Let's go back to pit road. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, guys, the work continues on Craig Rodman's car, and I told you I thought they had a rear gearing problem. They did. These are the rear spur gears that came out of the car. He runs what's called a quick change rear end simply because you can change these spur gears so quickly and change the ratio on the rear end. You can see this drive gear here is completely stripped off around. It started stripping the bigger gear. The car just simply quits pulling when that happens. They are putting new gears in it. They're just about completed right now. This is very hot stuff. In fact, I burned my finger pretty good on this thing, so that ain't funny. Quit laughing at me. It hurts.
Now, you ought to know better than to stick your hand down in there on something like that, Glenn Jarrett.
I was just going to say, Glenn's been around racing his whole life. I know he knows better than to touch a quick change rear end like that. But those gears there, though, the bad part is, even though it took all the teeth off of it, that metal went somewhere, and it's down in that housing somewhere.
That could be a problem indeed. Meantime, we check in with your leader, Mark Reed, in the 73, who's done very, very nicely here in the last 40 laps. Reed's got a good lead, now 9 seconds, let's call it, over the 79 automobile being driven by Gary Smith, who is 2nd. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Phoenix International Raceway, the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour. Its season finale for 1996. Rick Benjamin, Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, and Randy Pemberton on pit road today for us on TNN Motorsports. And Mark Reed, Buddy, he has stretched out the lead quite a bit now over the second place driver. That's to be the 28 car right now. John Walsh has moved into 2nd spot.
You know, we talked about this earlier. Reed wasn't really in contention until he made his first stop. He did a little bit of work on the car, and now that car looks to be the fastest thing out there. But he also has great track position and does not have to work his way through a lot of lap traffic right now.
He works down into turn 3. He's turned in a nice drive here this afternoon. He lined up 3rd on the day, dropped back at the early going. Has come on to lead by a big margin here in the last several laps as Reed goes down into turn 1. Englebright and Tom Hubert battling for 8th spot. Jim Englebright was up in 6th a moment ago in that green number 50. He's dropped back to 8th now. He's trying to get around Herbert and move into 7th spot. Herbert in the 8 car, as running the 4 car, has had some problems here today from time to time, and Englebright blows right by him down into turn 1. So move Englebright up on the board into 8th spot right now. Michael Alsop is the next car ahead in line, and Alsop, who led many laps early in the going, he's come back to run nicely too, and very strongly here in the middle portions of this race. We've got about 70 miles to go here this afternoon as we run 300 kilometers today at Phoenix.
What color is that race car of Englebright?
Looks green to me.
I'm telling you, it's green.
Now, you and I are old enough to remember when green cars were a no-no.
Yeah, but you know what? All of them get green money for racing. They don't complain about that, and you can see it has nothing to do with the way the car runs.
Englebright scored in 8th spot, the 4 car. Tom Hubert right behind him there. Englebright dispatched Hubert a moment ago and is running in clean traffic. He's got about an eighth of a racetrack in front of him with no cars there. And we've got trouble on the racetrack. Couple of cars go around. The 03 automobile, Jim Pettit, one of the cars is spun up in turn 2. 2 or 3 cars involved up there. Looks like the 28 was involved as well. John Walsh there caught up in that. And we are under caution on lap 115 for the 4th time this afternoon. One car laying down huge smoke down the backstretch here. That is Walsh's number 28. So the yellow is back out at Phoenix International Raceway. Everybody chasing Mark Reed. We're going to show you again what happened up in turn 2 just a moment ago. Buddy, how did this get started?
Wow, Peterson just got down in there so hard and got into the back of Ken Peterson there with the 21 car, and boy, I mean, it just triggered a huge wreck there.
Ron Peterson in the 8. That's the 3rd time he has been in trouble in that part of the racetrack here this afternoon. Ken Peterson in the 21. Let's take another look.
You can tell at that part of the corner you don't really have a whole bunch of time to react. And the guy on the top side, he didn't hit anybody. He just did a lot of spinning there.
Jim Pettit in the 03 going by. He's from Prudendale, California. He was able to spin the car and stay out of trouble, keep it off the wall. But the 28 of John Walsh with some serious damage to that automobile. So he is down on pit road. Sean Monroe was caught up in it again as well. And Monroe brings his car slowly onto pit road. Got another look or two at this for you this afternoon. This is turn 1 and 2 here at Phoenix International Raceway. There you see the contact between the 2 Petersons, the 8 and the 21. The 37 just sneaking by Keith Spangler, who's been up in the lead group. He was able to make a nice move on the outside.
That was a really great job by Jim Pettit to not hit somebody. He just went everywhere. You can see him going to the outside. He spins there. If he'd have locked the brakes up, he'd have hit 21, but he just was very lucky to get turned around there.
Now, when you make a hard right in one of these cars, especially in the middle of the corner, that's a much tougher move than a lot of folks would realize because of the way these cars are set up weight-wise.
Oh, man, I tell you what, you don't turn hard right with these cars with the left side percentage you have. When you turn back to the right, you're going to spin. It's just a matter of how long it takes.
Amazing he kept that car off the wall. I thought surely he was going to drill the concrete hard with that automobile, but Pettit does a nice job in the 03 and gets it straightened out. So we're back under caution, 115 of 186 laps on the board here this afternoon. And Mark Reed is going to be the restart leader if he stays out. Now, we ought to be in the window, I would think, for a pit stop that would take you to the end on tires. We were hearing 60, maybe 70 miles on a set of tires. Pit road opens, and we see at least one car. That is the 79 of Smith coming on, the 73 of Reed, and the 37 of Keith Spangler coming on to pit road as well. Your race leader, Mark Reed, in the 73. Randy Pemberton is there to watch him bring that car to a stop. Randy.
Well, we're waiting to see exactly what they're going to do. It appears they're going to go to the left side. It's going to be a left side tire change. That's the way that they're going to do it here. They might want to try and take on lefts and stop one more time and get their best set of rights on for the final onslaught for the checkered flag here. But it's left side tires for the 73 car. Glenn Jarrett, what's up?
Well, Gary Smith came in, Randy, and he went to the right side. Remember, they had already changed the left side. This is the 2nd time they've changed rights. But crew chief Kelly Tanner told me that this should be their last stop. They wanted to get another set of right sides on. They feel like they're in great shape now. He came a long way back through that field, guys, to get up to 2nd place. I tell you, I think he's got the best car out there right now. He drove by Scott Hansen and pulled away. You don't do that very often to Hansen here at Phoenix. Gary Smith looks to be in good shape for the final run.
Well, we watch Mark Reed. He got his service work done quickly, and he'll come back up onto the speedway behind the pace truck. Many more cars will be taking this opportunity to come onto pit road, get gas and tires for one more shot.
Yeah, this is all the cars that are a lap down coming down pit road right now, and when this sorts out and everybody makes their stops, you'll be able to tell who is really in good shape and track position when they start back to the run to the end.
Pit work continuing here under caution. We had a tangle up in turn 2 just a moment ago. The 2 Petersons, Ron in the 8 and Ken Pedersen with a D in the 21, had gotten together. There's Michael Alsop, the pole sitter today in the 61 car. And he's going to be shown at the head of the pack, I believe, when we get ready to restart. And we mentioned that he had been an early stopper this afternoon. He stopped before the first caution, so he's not on the same pit stop sequence as everybody else, and that could work to his advantage. As we watch the 2 of Craig Rodman, they finally got the rear end gear problem taken care of in that car. Craig Rodman will come back on the speedway as well. Still under caution at Phoenix. Michael Alsop in the 61. There's some of the damage from one of the cars involved here a few moments ago. We'll be back at Phoenix in a moment.
Okay, is that McCowan, Alsop, Rodman?
Now this is showing that McCowan must not be on the lead lap.
How could he not be?
I don't know how he couldn't be either.
That can't be.
What do you have 34 on the lead lap? Martha says he's not on the lead lap.
I don't know how he couldn't be. He's
Got
been
Alsop.
up front fighting for the lead all day.
Should we go to Alsop's pit and talk strategy with those guys? Okay.
You got Alsop leading?
Yeah, he's shown at the top of the board. Okay. Less than 70 miles to go at Phoenix International Raceway. We're here for the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour this afternoon. And Michael Alsop will have the restart lead, it looks like, Buddy Baker. This pit strategy may have worked perfectly for him.
Well, the whole thing, he's in the lead right now, but with this single file restart, a lot of good race cars are up front again. And Glenn says the 79 right now, as far as he's concerned, Gary Smith might be the toughest guy out there, and he's right behind him.
Smith has certainly been stout all day.
Oh, he has, and you know, he's got good track position on this restart also.
Scott Hansen will be right in the mix as well. Hansen being shown second right now, ready to go green. Doug McCowan will lead him to the stripe. We don't have McCowan on the lead lap. The green is back out to begin lap 119. And we've got less than 90 miles to go here this afternoon. McCowan takes him down into turn one. Veered nicely and cleanly through there. McCowan with Alsop right behind him in the 61. Alsop is shown as the race leader, so McCowan not on the lead lap at the moment. He's shown 2 laps down in the 34 car. The leader is Alsop in the 61. Right behind him, Hansen in the 53 is back there with Gary Smith. We've got a couple of lap cars in the midst of things there. There's the battle between Hansen, who's running second, and Smith in the 79, who's third. Buddy, I think this will tell a lot about how strong Smith is.
Well, you can see right there, Hansen is not able to hold that low line through the middle part of the corner there. Looks to me like Smith's car may be just a little bit better in the center part of the corner. But one thing about Scott Hansen, he is excellent at really preserving his tires, so he may be doing that right now, not trying to get them hot. And he may be running that wide groove, not to lean on the tires too much.
That's the battle for second spot. ASA standout Scott Hansen in the 53. Gary Smith from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, the 79 car. Running second and third right now behind Michael Alsop. The 73 of Mark Reed, who is leading up to the last caution. He's back in fourth. Then we have Kevin Richards in the 35. He's running fifth right now. But this is the battle for second. They come out of turn 4 once again, and Smith takes a look to the low side. Won't have enough to get by him this time either. Hansen able to hang on to second spot.
Well, you can see that Scott Hansen has a very good race car down the straightaway, and he is a master at really setting this car up and getting it good for the last runs here. He's not really giving up anything to Smith right now.
This is the battle for 6. Tom Hubert in the 4. Ron Eaton in the 7 car running 8th. Jim Englebright in the middle of the sandwich in the green 50. He's 7th, trying to get by Hubert for 6th position. Hubert has really had a good run here this afternoon. A driver you don't hear too much from normally, but he qualified well and has been right up in there all afternoon. Here's Eaton with Englebright trying to move by Hubert and take over the position. Going for 6th. Englebright gets by. That drops Hubert back a spot. Brian Germoni's back in there too. Germoni shown 9th in the 5. So that's a battle for position with 4 drivers involved. Meantime, Gary Smith on the outside going around Scott Hansen up in turn 3. So Smith moves by and takes over second spot now. He's got a long way to go to get up to Michael Alsop, but he is back in second spot. And now Ron Eaton and Hubert wiggles again coming out of turn 4.
I think Hubert may have hit the outside wall just a little bit there coming out turn 4. He really zigzagged pretty hard there.
Craig Rodman in the 2 got out of shape too as we came back around. Our camera looking ahead at the 4 car, but you saw Rodman just get a little bit sideways coming through turns 1 and 2. He's just back on the track after fixing a rear end problem in that car. He was out for many laps. Ran up front earlier in the afternoon here. There's Englebright running 6th in the 50. Eaton in the 7 is 6th. Ramoni then in the 4 car. Hubert back in 9th spot right now. So battle for position. 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th on the speedway right now, with Englebright heading this little group of cars that have been working on each other for quite some time.
You know, Gary Smith has got brand new right side tires on that car, so he's really putting it to work right now. And I think he may have an advantage on the lead car now as far as catching him. He looks like he's running them down pretty easily.
Brian Dramoni, meantime, and Tom Hubert, as they battle for 8th spot. Hubert gets around him. Ron Eaton in the 7 car, bringing his machine onto pit road. So this could end his chances here this afternoon. Hubert, meantime, on the high side, goes back around to reclaim that position. He is 7th. Dramoni back to 8th as we see Eaton bring the number 7 machine onto pit road. And this, the battle up front for 3rd spot. Scott Hansen is running 3rd. The 73 of Mark Reed is running 4th on the main straightaway. Quickly to Glenn Jarrett on pit road. What's wrong with Ron Eaton's car?
Well, I'm not certain, Rick, but when he came by me in my vantage point, the engine was not running, and there is a stream of fluid coming out from underneath it. So whatever the problem is, I feel sure that it's terminal.
Probably so at this stage of the afternoon. 127 miles into the books, less than 60 to go here this afternoon. As we watch the strong cars at the head of the show right now. Scott Hansen being shown in 3rd spot down to the main straightaway in the 53 car. Chris Rodman in the 93 back on the racetrack. 79 of Smith is 2nd. Scott Hansen, Randy Pemberton, he's run well today, but he doesn't seem to have enough for Smith. What's the situation down there?
Well, that's the way it appears right now, Rick, but he could be holding back just a little bit. Prior to the interview that I had with him in halftime there, or during the red flag situation, he said he rode into the racetrack with Dick Trickle today. He said, Dick, what is the strategy to win this thing? Because I happened to win it getting lucky last year by stopping one less time than everybody else. And Dick said, you got to take on rights, then lefts, then rights one more time, and save your last set of rights, and don't run it into the ground until the last few laps. So that could be very well what we're seeing from Scott Hansen right now. We still have several laps to go, so he might be just nursing those right side tires.
Well, Randy knows what he's talking about. Dick Trickle's won this event twice already, so who better to ask than the guy that's already won twice?
Certainly a guy with plenty of expertise in these type cars, too. These are very, very similar to NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro machines and to ASA cars. We're watching Scott Hansen run his ASA ride right here in the 53. We watch Gary Smith in the 79. He is 2nd. Hansen there is 3rd. Chris Rodman in the 93, the series champion. He claimed that title earlier today by just taking the green flag in that machine. Missed a bunch of laps a short time ago with rear end problems, but they got it fixed, got him back up onto the racetrack. Put the cars onto the backstretch. Very strong machines right there. The leaders are on the main straightaway right now. We watch this battle for position a little bit further back in the pack. Cars working out through 3 and 4. This group of cars has been together now for several laps. The 8 of Ron Peterson, he's had problems several times as we've documented up in 1 and 2. This has been a part of the racetrack he has not enjoyed this afternoon. John Cox in the 66 also in that group of cars. Cox being shown up in 9th now. He's only 2 laps down. He got one of his laps back a moment ago, so John Cox moves into the top 10. At the moment, we're being shown that there are only 5 cars on the lead lap as the field works around through in the late stages of the going here. 300 kilometers this afternoon for the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour cars. They wrap up their 1996 campaign. 18 races, second time they've been here this year. They ran 50 miles back in February, part of the Copper Classic that you saw here on TNN Motorsports. Leaders, meantime, work down the backstretch toward turn 3 and then down toward turn 1. We see Doug McCown there in the 34 in that group of cars. And there's Alsop in the 61 still showing the way, buddy.
You know, it's a shame that McCowan got a lap down because you can see that he's just as fast as Alsop. Alsop hadn't gained not even a car length since they dropped the green, and he's much in the race. If he could get a caution, I think that car is as fast as anything out there.
Leader, meantime, out of turn 4. Michael Alsop from Bakersfield, California. And that 61 automobile doing a great job. Qualified on the pole. Glenn told us earlier his 4th start on the Phoenix Mile. This is not an easy racetrack to come to and be strong at if you're a young driver just learning. And he has certainly put on a great run here today. This, meantime, is the battle for 2nd. Gary Smith in the 79 has opened up a good bit of racetrack now on Scott Hansen. And Derek Cope takes a look from down on pit road. He's taking a look from Gary Smith's pit and lending a little moral support. Driver who ran in the Pacific Northwest in the early stages of his career.
Well, I tell you, he better help him in a hurry because Gary Smith right now is about 4.5 seconds back of Alsop. And right now with the advantage of having McCowan out front, he can actually draft down the straightaway on the McCowan car. So right now, he better close him down if he plans to be in this thing at the end.
Closing up on 50 miles to go as we watch the second place machine, the 79 of Gary Smith. It's been out of pit road, Glenn Jarrett.
Well, I just asked Kelly Tanner, Rick, if there was a problem on the car, whether he was just saving it to the end. He gave me that sly little grin that only crew chiefs own, only they possess, and said, we're just cooling it to the end. So he's saving what he's got. Also running his car pretty doggone hard right now to not have anybody pressuring him, so he may not have anything left at the end. Let's go to Randy.
Well, we've caught up with Ron Eaton. You've climbed from your car. You had a heck of a run going there, sir.
Yeah, we were running real good, but thing is we had a flat tire in the rear end leak. We got it fixed and got back up front, and then something broke in the motor.
What about the 79 car? I believe you rented the wrong one.
Well, the 79 car I drove last 2 weeks ago and won with it, and he wanted to rent it right after the race, so I let him have it. And we brought this car here, and it's running just as good. They're both identical cars. But I hope Gary wins the race, because Gary's a good driver.
We've got trouble up in turn 3. A big crash. Couple of cars spin. One car backs into the wall and sheds much of its bodywork at the time. So we've got caution on the speedway once again. See the driver in there. He looks like he's okay, but fiberglass and sheet metal everywhere. That may be the 44 of Bob Lyon. Lyon had gotten mixed up in that wreck down on the main straightaway earlier that took out our speed camera. And they lost some of the bodywork off it at that point. There's the roof of Lyon's car. That was a violent hit.
It was that, but if you want to look at something, the fuel cell and all in that car is still intact. That's the important part. A few years ago, when you had a metal tank, that would have been a huge fire. You can see everything is pulled loose. Quarter panel's gone. Where they put the gas in, that's the filler neck, just halfway down the where you used to have a quarter panel. There's a little drip there, but a long time ago, that would have been a huge fire.
Bob Lyon drops the steering wheel off the column there. He hasn't dropped the window netting yet, but he is moving around inside the car, and the safety crew there to talk to him. You need to get him out of that car pretty quickly. Let's show you again. This is down the backstretch into turn 3, and Lyon on the inside in the yellow car there. A couple of cars close to him, and they get pushed together.
Okay, on the outside there, the car that was trying to get an angle into the corner touched the white car and really moved him in the lines there. It was Mark Reed in 73 that come down, and Lyon had absolutely nothing to do, but a lot of times on a racetrack, you don't have to have anything to do with the wreck. It just happens like that.
So the 44, Bob Lyon, his second trip into the wall today. Lyon jumps out of the car. He's fine. That is good news indeed. Hard lick up in turn 3. Caution again at Phoenix. 139 laps complete. Michael Alsop, your leader. We'll be right back.
Boy, I tell you what, you guys should have been able to see that. Yeah.
Buddy, hang on one sec. In Gary Smith's pit, I just found this out. Duh. You remember Roy Smith?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Gary is his son.
Oh, my.
Yeah, Roy's in the pit here. I'm right on top of things, man.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
Yeah, I'm here, man. But this is Roy in the red cap here in the white T-shirt in front of the car.
Are all the leaders coming in this time?
Yeah.
Alsop didn't stop, did he?
Alsop's in.
Yeah, okay.
Welcome back to Phoenix International Raceway. Rick Benjamin and Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, and Randy Pemberton on pit road. Caution again, and pit stops taking place. Glenn Jarrett.
And Gary Smith came back in, guys. We didn't really expect him, but they got together. Derek Cope, as we showed you, was down here, talked it over with his old crew chief, Jackie Johnson, who works as co-crew chief on this deal. And they all decided to bring him back in, put on that last set of fresh right side tires that they had. Michael Alsop was getting away from them just a little bit, and so they decided to gamble and go with the best. Also, we want to point out at this time that Gary Smith is the son of Roy Smith, who is a former Winston West champion, won, I guess, about 10 million races out in Winston West racing, didn't he, buddy?
At
but
least.
This is Roy Smith's son, Gary Smith. Let's go down to Randy Pemberton.
Well, Michael Alsop also came in, and this is very unique strategy. I've seen it a couple of times before in any form of stock car racing. They went ahead and took on rear tires, 2 rears. He was down and away.
Buddy Baker, you think that might be a winning strategy for Michael Alsop?
Well, apparently he was running a little bit loose and he needed better forward bite, or the back of the car was uncontrollable to the point that it was aggravating to him. And 2 new tires on the rear. The front was working good, so he's working on the back to get more forward bite and also keep it from sliding in the corner.
Caution again here at Phoenix. Bob Lyon taking it to the outside wall hard up in turn 3. He's okay. Took most of the body work off the car in that hard crash. Now Mark Reed in the 73, who's been running up front all afternoon. Reed is 4th at the moment. He comes down onto pit road. Looks like they're going to do right side tires and add some fuel to the 73 machine. Rest of the field coming in as well. Probably the final pit stop. We've got 45 miles to go when we go back to green.
Well, and the one thing that we have to remember, McCowan,
Yeah.
he was in front, and he was pulling away from Alsop as he was leading the race there. And I think he's going to be a contender if he's back in the lead lap, or did he lose more laps than that a while ago?
They're showing him 2 laps down at this point, so he needs another break, or maybe he can gain one here depending on how the pit stop falls for McCowan. We'll see what happens. The pace truck is out on the speedway. It's picked up Sean Monroe at the moment. We take a look at Gary Smith in the 79, Michael Alsop in the 61. Now, they were reversed on the track when we went to caution. Alsop was the leader. Smith was running second, about 3.5 seconds behind. Smith's been able to take over on the pit stop shuffle. Let's go back to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, guys, I told you that Roy Smith is the father of Gary Smith. And Roy, you're a legend in Winston West racing. Fun to watch your son run up front.
Oh, yeah, I really enjoy it. You know, we had a bit of a frustrating year, and we come down here, you know, we owed our sponsor a good run here, and we had to make a few changes to get to where we are, but I think that he's going to put on a good show for him today, and I think we got a good shot at being in the winner's circle when it's all over with. We're in good shape right now.
Well, now, Derek Cope was down here. Also, his cousin Ernie Cope, Jackie Johnson, Derek's former crew chief. There's a lot of talent down here right now.
Yeah, well, actually, it's funny, like the crew chief that's working with us now, this team all year, was with Derek. He was with Jimmy Inslow. He's been with Jimmy Bound and myself, and he's won championships with every one of us. You know, we really feel we got some experience on that end of it. It's a little different car than we're used to. The Winston West cars were a little heavier, a little bit different, and so we had to bring in Kelly to dial in the tour car for us, but it's working real good right now.
I'd say it is, boy. If experience is the key, these guys have got it. A former Winston West champion, a crew chief that worked for 3 different Winston West champions, and the current Northwest Tour champion. These guys have got some talent here.
They brought us a revised schedule, just so everybody knows. Did you get that down there in the truck? Cup pole qualifying will be tomorrow morning now. Just so everybody knows, they're going to close the garage. They're going to give the trucks a half-hour of practice if there's time, which there probably won't be. And then the garage is open at 7, cup practice at 8:30, and pole qualifying at 10:45 for Winston Cup.
I'm serious. Hey, Glenn. Hey, Glenn.
Do we have a hotel update yet?
Hey, Glenn.
I hear you.
Tell me how McCowan got 3 laps down.
They passed him on the racetrack 3 times?
No, sir. No.
I don't know, buddy.
I have not seen this guy make any green flag stops or anything, and he was leading everybody ever since the race started. I mean, I don't understand it.
I don't know. I haven't been able to keep up with it. Obviously, somebody else hadn't either.
So we'll see how Gary Smith is able to do here in these last 42 miles. 144 laps are complete this afternoon. Buddy Scott Hansen's going to have the restart lead, it looks like, when we go green here in just a moment.
Scott Hansen will get the lead when they drop the green, but one thing about him, he has not really shown the muscle that he normally does at this particular part of the race. So we'll just have to see if he's as strong as he usually is in the last little bit. But I don't believe he's going to be able to handle Smith.
Hansen up through the gears and away into turn 1. Kevin Richards in the 35 and Jim Englebright in the 50. The top 3 as we watch the field get away. That's some wounded animals out there at the moment. Some cars with heavy damage on them as we go green for what could be the final segment of the afternoon here today. Up onto the backstretch, leaders behind Scott Hansen down into turn 3. Track conditions have changed quite a bit here because the sun is really starting to shine now.
Look at Gary Smith on the outside there coming through this traffic. I'm telling you, that car is hooked now. It won't be very long before Scott Hansen will answer all our questions I don't think he can handle him. It looks like right now Gary Smith is the class of the whole field right now.
Smith wasted no time to pick off second spot. Englebright there closing in on Richards. Englebright in the green number 50 car, running in fourth spot right now. Leaders up into turn 3 and 4. Hansen still out in front, but he's got about 9 car lengths on Gary Smith, I would say, as they come up onto the main straightaway.
He lost at least 10 car lengths on that one lap there. It won't be long before we'll have a race for the lead. You see Englebright and those guys right now kind of struggling. You can see he's not able to really keep the speed up. Oh, my goodness.
The 4 car again.
Tom Hulbert was completely up in the gray there. You could see the dust fly. He was in trouble just for a second.
Michael Alsop, meantime, runs fourth in the white number 61. There's Alsop going by. He's right behind Richards in the 35. Alsop's been strong. Remember, he was the Busch Pole qualifier here this weekend for the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour. He's led a good bit of the race, too. And dropped back on the last round of pit stops, but he's got a shot, certainly, with a little under 40 laps to go. Now up onto the back straightaway. Alsop takes a look to the inside of Richards as they battle for third.
Now you see he's got the position. He'll be able to make the move on the inside going into this corner without much trouble at all.
So the 61 of Alsop reclaims third spot right now. Your leader continues to be Hansen. Smith in the 79 directly in front of this shot you're seeing of Alsop. He is in second spot. These cars third, fourth, and fifth. Englebright in the 50. Running in fifth spot, there's your leader Hansen out of 2. Out of the back straightaway now. One good thing about the way Phoenix is laid out, you don't see sun down into 3. You do see it down into turn 1, though, at this stage of the afternoon.
I was just fixing to say, Gary Smith really got a great start there, and he looked like he was running the leader down, but now he's kind of holding his own. If anything, Alsop in third is closing in on him just a little bit.
Michael Alsop's been very strong all afternoon. He scored a little under 2 seconds off the lead right now, but he pushes way high up there in 2. One car in trouble, that's Ron Peterson in the 8. He's been down low and in the dirt a couple of times here today. Looks like motor problems now for the 8 down through turns 1 and 2. Ron Peterson from San Bernardino, California, being shown in 15th spot, but 4 laps down to the leaders. Peterson back on the gas, though. Apparently not a terminal problem, whatever the situation was. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, he almost had a terminal problem there, Rick. He got up at the high stuff coming off of 4, popped the wall pretty good. It bounced off across the racetrack right in front of traffic, but he held control of it, continued on. But I got to feel like he did some damage to that race car. He hit the wall pretty hard. He hit it so hard that all 4 wheels left the ground. That's hard, isn't it, buddy?
You better believe if you can lift it off the ground. Look at him coming through. He's in the loose stuff. Whoa, you're right, Glenn.
Yeah.
We just watched the replay. He really tagged that outside wall.
He's got a little camber problem on the right front corner, it looked like, too, going by the last time. That wheel is tipped out quite a bit, as you see when you'll see the outside of the car where he belted the wall just a moment ago. 34 miles to go, and the race remains in the hands of Scott Hansen. Peterson goes to the inside to let Roudman go by. Also Chris Trickle in the 70, but as we told you, the right front really cambered out quite a bit.
Yeah, he didn't do that car any favors. Anytime you hit hard enough to lift the left side off the ground, you can bet the rear end housing and everything. You can see the right front there actually trying to come off.
I think he's got something broken there, too. You can see the wheel moving up and down pretty markedly on that last picture.
Just a second ago, the wheel was leaning all the way in at the top. Now it's leaning all the way under, so he needs to get in really quick.
We watch the 8 of Ron Peterson. Remember, he has had problems several times this afternoon. Back on track, the battle for 4th. Kevin Richards in the 35. Jim Englebright in the 50 is 5th. This is a battle for position. The 2 car there, Craig Roudman, he is not in the hunt. Remember, he missed several laps earlier. Rear end problems. Took him a while to fix the car and get it back into the race. So he missed a lot of green flag laps. But this is a good one, battling for 4th spot. Richards in the 35, Englebright in the 50 as the laps wind down today here at Phoenix. Roudman right behind him. Then the 4, Tom Hubert is running 6th. Let's take a look back up front. Michael Alsop in the 61, running in 3rd. Gary Smith in the red 79. He is 2nd. Scott Hansen almost a straightaway in front. Hansen, buddy, seems to have gained some strength here in the late stages.
That's the one thing you can never guess on Scott Hansen. If anybody's ever watched him run a race, you never know what he has until the very end. And, buddy, he has a good race car right now. He has lengthened his lead just a little bit over Smith.
Smith is 2nd. That's the red car diving into 3 there. Then you have 3rd, 4th, and 5th right behind him. Michael Alsop is there. Englebright is there. The 79 car of Smith rides in 2nd spot now. Richards in the 35 trying to hold Englebright back as they race for 4th spot. In front of them is Michael Alsop, who is 3rd. In the white 61 machine there. Good battle for 4th spot.
Boy, Englebright's giving it everything he can, trying to get by right now. just a second ago, he almost made contact with the 35 car there of Kevin Richards.
Good racing out of turn 3 and 4 right now. This has been a good battle for 50 or 60 laps. These cars have been in the same group for quite some time.
Well, Engelbright's clearly faster in the center part of the corner. You watch him go in right here. He gives that car a ride right into that point, but then he sweeps up the racetrack just a little bit and loses some of the drive off the corner.
Now, we've talked about the dust and everything that's been going on here this afternoon. I would think the top groove would be pretty gritty at this point of the afternoon.
There's no saying don't go there, and you don't want to get out in that outside groove.
30 miles to go at Phoenix. Scott Hansen is your leader. He's the defending winner of this race. We'll see if the strategy has come around to put him in position to win 2 straight at Phoenix. Welcome back to Phoenix International Raceway. Rick Benjamin and Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett and Randy Pemberton on pit road. Your leader is Scott Hansen, less than 30 miles to go. And Hansen working up on one of the lap cars, the 85 machine there of Mac McGarry, who started shotgun on the field today. We check back on that battle for 4th spot right now.
Boy, Scott Hansen really got held up there, and Smith closed in about 3 or 4 seconds on him there. He's down to about 15 car lengths to our leader, Scott Hansen, just by that 1 lap car there.
Shows you what a lap car can do at the outcome of a race sometimes.
Well, let's see what he does to Smith as he comes off the corner here. You can see Engelbright fighting really hard there for 4th place.
Engelbright looks like he may get around Richards on the low side to pick up the spot. He's got lap traffic in front too. The McGarry machine, the 85 car right there. And Engelbright completes the pass on Richards. Richards gives him a little tap up in turn 2, up onto the backstretch. Give Engelbright 4th spot.
You can see the hand gesture there. He was letting him know, yeah, I know
Thanks.
You didn't mean to run in my back.
Was that what that was?
Yeah, it was.
Cars working out of 3 and 4. Engelbright in the green machine there. Car number 50 up now into 4th position, having gotten by Richards. He's got Michael Alsop in front of him in the 61. Alsop is 3rd. 2nd belongs to Smith, and Hansen in the 53 trying to hang on, and all of a sudden Smith said it's time to go.
Well, what happened, he got hung up behind that slow traffic and really brought him back in here, and all of a sudden Smith has the draft now. And believe you me, at this racetrack, you run 170 miles an hour down the straightaway, there's a good draft down the straightaway. You can see Smith now in right behind him, and he's closing in. It looks like Scott Hansen right now is going to be very lucky to hold Smith off.
25 miles to go at Phoenix this afternoon, and we're under caution. Yellow on the speedway. Caution again, be the 6th time this afternoon, I believe, as the yellow waves once again. So this will give everybody an opportunity to reload for the final run. Looks like we've got a piece of body material. Looks like the hood of a car here on the main straightaway right past the start-finish line. 6th caution of the day comes out on lap 162 this afternoon. So everybody slows it down. And the pit road area not yet open. We'll have to see if anybody will gamble and try to come in pretty late in the race to come in for tires.
Oh, I tell you what, I don't second guess these pit crew people, though. They're really smart at what they do, and if they come in, it's the right thing to do, believe me.
Part of the 67 looks like there on the main straightaway, the car of Doyle Olson from Salem, Utah. As we watch Scott Hansen, your leader. Hansen's led for quite a bit of the late stages of this one.
Well, he looked like he was just pulling away, and he was out in clean air. He really had a great race car. The minute he had to break his momentum a little bit for a lap car there and let Smith get behind him, all of a sudden it was a 2-car race, and when Alsop gets up there, we're going to have a shootout right to the finish.
Well, they'll certainly get to start close together. Now, remember, Glenn told us earlier that in the last 10 laps, the lap cars dropped to the back. We're not to that point yet, though, so we'll line up for the restart as they're running on the track. Let's go back to pit road. Glenn Jarrett.
Kelly Tanner on car number 79. Has Gary got anything left for him? You got the brake you needed. He's closed up now. Has he got something for him, Kelly?
I think Gary does. I think the Rabanco Chevrolet is going to be in victory lane here a little bit. I think Gary wants this race worse than Scott. Scott's a good racer, but I think you're going to see Gary Smith go to lead here in about 5 laps.
All right, let's see what they got to say in Scott Hansen's pit. Randy?
Well, Jimmy Schrader, you've gotten all your strategy down where you want it. You took on rights, then lefts, then rights again, and you've got the lead. Can you hold them off?
I think so. The only problem we got now is going into one. Scott can't see nothing. Our spotter's helping him. I think we're going to be all right.
What about the car? How's it feel to him?
Feels a lot better than it did before. We got it working now.
Okay, that's the strategy from down here. They think they got it working.
Buddy Baker, you're shaking your head. I don't know that you buy that.
I love what crew chiefs say. Did you hear the crew chief? My guy's going to win. They asked the other guy, my guy's going to win. Let me tell you, they wouldn't be working on these cars if they didn't really believe that too.
Well, that sets up quite a battle, wouldn't you say, Glenn Jarrett?
Oh, I think so, Rick. My comment about it is listening to what Hanson's crew chief says. Somebody ain't telling the truth down here.
No, not in motorsports. That
Can you
can't
imagine
be.
that? That's never happened before.
No, first time I've ever run into that.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's been a lot of firsts today.
Under caution, we're scoring. There'll be 1 to green. We're getting the signal from the flag stand right now. Scott Hansen in the 53 car. Will be your restart leader once again. Facebook is on the speedway, ready to go. And there'll be 20 miles to go, buddy, when we go back under green. Nobody deciding to come to pit road. They're going to go with what they've got at this point.
That's exactly right. They have to stay out there. Track position is too important to give it up right now. And the big thing that I think the first 5 cars right now that are on the lead lap certainly have a good chance. I think Englebright may be the sleeper in the green car. He looks awful good in the corners now. And of course, Smith, everybody, including myself, knows that that's a great car. But Scott Hansen's not going to roll over and play dead.
It should be a dandy here when we get ready to go in just a moment. Now, we said that no one had elected to come on to pit road, but one car did. Brian Germoni was running 8th, and he'd been up in the lead pack most of the afternoon, too. He decided to stop, pick up some tires. He's back on the racetrack. He gives up a lot of track position here with 20 miles to go, so we'll see if Germoni is able to come back up through. He is on the lead lap, so that will put him toward the front, not on the restart.
If they come down for the green flag, I can tell you this. You want to get a good start with 20 to go.
Let's watch and see. Elmo Langley brings the pace truck in. Scott Hansen leads him up through the gearbox, coming to the stripe. This will be 166 laps complete, 20 to go. We're back underway. Hansen leads him down into 1. Smith about 3 car lengths back. That's the red car in second. He's diving low right away, buddy.
He is diving low, and Hansen pushed out just a little bit in the center part of the corner. You can see Smith really closing in on him as they go down to turn 3.
Hansen still holds on, but Smith very, very strong in that 79 car. Looks to the low side coming out of 4. Hansen likes it up in the middle of the racetrack. Hansen maintains the lead. Randy Pemberton, what are they saying down there?
Well, just like Buddy Baker said, the draft does play a key role in this, and Scott Hansen said he wants to get away from that 79 if he can right off the bat, because when he gets underneath him, like he does coming off of turn 2 there just a moments ago, it loosens him up. So we'll see what he does going into turn 3.
Smith trying to reel in Hansen. Smith in the 79 is second. Hansen in the white 53 there is your leader. Alsop in the 61 is third, right behind him.
Now these two guys start racing side by side, and that's going to bring the 61 of Alsop right up on them. So right now, when they make a pass, if they do later on in the race, the thing they have to do is make that pass and make it stick.
No change among the top 3. Smith may be electing to sit tight for the next little bit, although Kelly Tanner told us a few moments ago within 5 laps he tried to get to the front. He's run 3 under green so far, and he hasn't been able to do it out of 4. And now look at this. Hansen opens up 6 car lengths.
That's what I was telling you. He seems to have a great race car and clean air. There's nothing around him right now, and Scott pulled out a great lead just a little while ago. And what he wants to do right now is build as much margin up, because you can see Smith run him down just before the caution not long ago.
This a battle for 6th spot. The 4 of Tom Hubert, who's been in several mix-ups today. And alongside him, Mark Reed, the 73, who's led a time here. Reed's been strong, trying to get to the inside and pick up 6th, and Reed makes the pass. So give Reed 6th position. Hansen, meantime, maintains the lead. 170 complete, 16 to go now. We watch the lead group move through turns 1 and 2. Jim Englebright in the green car there. He remains in 4th spot. The white car of Alsop, the 61, is 3rd. There's Smith in the 79 2nd. Everybody chasing race leader Scott Hansen, who's trying to win. This would be his 3rd in the last 4 years of these 300-kilometer fall events that close out the Southwest Tour season. Now here's Alsop to the inside on Gary Smith. So Michael Alsop, buddy, as you suggested, getting strong.
He is awful strong down the front straightaway. He does have the angle on the 73 of Smith. As they go through the corner, you can see he gets a good drive up out of the corner. But to the outside there, it's normally a little quicker down the straightaway. He'll probably pull even down the back straightaway.
Michael Alsop giving Gary Smith everything he can handle as they battle for second. They're door-to-door up in 3. Smith on the high side into 4. Alsop down low. Looks like Alsop may be able to complete the pass and take over 2nd spot. This allows Hansen, meantime, to get even further out in front. They are still side by side.
Well, that's really playing into Scott Hansen's deck of cards right now. As you can see, the 61 of Alsop is really trying to get by, but you're not going to just give him a spot this close to the end of the race.
Michael Alsop in the white car on the inside going for second. He was the pole sitter here today, and he gets by Gary Smith. So that makes Gary Smith's chore a whole lot tougher with less than 14 miles to go now. Alsop is second, Smith is third. Everybody chasing the leader, Scott Hansen, down into one.
Now what this did, them running side by side, this gives Scott Hansen about a 15 to 20 car length lead now. You can see right here as he goes by, it's all the way back to there. And just 2 laps of those guys running side by side, he opened up a tremendous lead.
Hansen all alone now. He's got a lot of open racetrack in front. He's got a quarter of a track of open ground in front of him as the leaders move by one of the damaged cars from one of the earlier wrecks. There's 79. Gary Smith running third. Jim Englebright in the 50 car is fourth. I'm not so sure that Englebright doesn't have a shot at Smith here.
Well, Englebright is extremely good, as I said just a few minutes ago. You can see his car is good on long runs. He's not very good when the tires are cold, but as they get really hot, he really has a good handling race car. You can see him moving in on Smith there. He's able to maintain a lot of corner time there. You can see him making a move on the inside on Smith, trying to get by him.
Jim Englebright in the 50 with a late race charge here, bidding for third spot on Gary Smith. We were thinking that Gary Smith might be the guy to beat here in this last run to the checkered flag. Doesn't look like it's going to work out that way at all. Hansen is still your leader. Alsop is second. Smith is now 1.5 seconds behind in third, trying to hold off Jim Englebright in the 50 car there, who's running in fourth spot. 10 laps to go this time by. Your leader Hansen is out of 4. This is that battle for third spot. Again, Englebright in the 50, the green car, Smith in the 79, the red car, and we have 10 to go. Lead group down into turn 1. Remember that the 2 car of Craig Rodman is a lap car. The 73 of Reed running in 5th. And this is the lead battle right here. Hansen with about 10 car lengths over Alsop.
I was just fixing to say Alsop is really moving in. You can see there through turn 3, picked up about 5 car lengths. I think Alsop's really dialed in here for the long run. Man, he is catching as I speak. He is really reeling in the leaders. You see Englebright fighting for third spot there.
This is still that battle for third. Mark Reed in there as well in the red 73. As we watch the leaders move down the backstretch into turn 3. Hansen in the 53 car is out in front. Alsop in the white 61 is second. He was the pole sitter. There's the third place car of Gary Smith. Jim Englebright in the green 50 is fourth. And then Mark Reed in the red 73 running in 5th. That's a good battle for third there out of turn 4. Not much change up front. Alsop still about 7 or 8 car lengths back. This is the battle for third spot now, with 8 miles remaining here at Phoenix this afternoon.
You see Englebright, he'll fall back about 5-6 car lengths and run right back up on Smith, but does not have the power to put him away yet. But he's really working well through the corner if he just gets one little shot there. But let me tell you, that 73 is coming on now. That's Mark Reed. He's doing quite a job.
Gets a good drive out of the 4th corner, and he'll make the pass on Englebright. So Mark Reed moves to 4th spot in the 73. We'll see if he's got anything for Gary Smith as they race out at 2 now.
What Reed will try to do is go on the inside of Smith, and if Englebright will get right on his back end, when they start by, he can make that pass on Smith, but I don't think he has anything at all for Mark.
Reed down low. He's about the only driver of this group of 3 able to work that low side up in 3 and 4 as they move down the main straightaway. Mark Reed's going to make it by, so Mark Reed will pick up third spot now. Gary Smith pushes high in turn 2 there. Englebright closes right back in on him, but there's a change for third spot. Mark Reed takes over the position in that 73 car. He's from Bakersfield. He's done a nice job here this afternoon.
He hasn't got it yet. They're still fighting side by side as they go into turn 3 there. I tell you what, Smith is not just giving up on this spot at all. He's fighting back on the outside, gets tremendous shot down the front straightaway there, pulls even as they head into turn 1.
Drivers getting the 5 to go signal from the flag stand here, and it's still Scott Hansen and Michael Alsop up front, a little bit ahead of this group of cars. Smith on the outside. Reed got a little crossed up there in 2, so Smith moves back by to reclaim third spot.
Well, I tell you what, all you have to do is get a little sideways like that, check up just for one. You can see he lost almost 4 car lengths there just by checking up that little brief moment.
182 miles of 186 complete. This is the battle again for third spot. Reed tries it again on the low side. He and Smith have been just hammer and tongs here the last 10 laps. Reed down low. Looks like he may get it this time, buddy.
Don't say that. He's still having a lot of straightaway going back. Reed really pulled over just a little bit to really take care of that spot just then. Smith, I don't think, has the power to come back on him.
They'll come up to 3 laps to go this time by. This the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Craig Rodman in the deuce watching this. Remember, Rodman is several laps down. Lost a lot of time on pit road earlier this afternoon. Scott Hansen with a half-second lead as we check in on the top 2 cars. Down the back straightaway, they'll get 2 to go this time. And here's Englebright in the 50 now moving by Smith. This is a race for 4th spot into turn 3.
This looks like a good 3-lap race if I know anything about racing. You see Englebright there really getting on the inside, but Smith's fighting back. He'll go down the front straightaway. He'll pull back even as we saw just a while ago. Smith's fighting everybody there, and that's what race car drivers are out there for. Put up the best fight they possibly can.
2 laps to go. The signal from the flag stand. This is now the battle for 4th spot. Smith trying to hang on over Englebright in the 50. Gary Smith in the red 79, Englebright in the green 50 car down into turn 3. White flag will wave for Scott Hansen this time by. Alsop is about 5 car lengths back, but I don't think he's going to have enough. Scott Hansen is going to have played his card perfectly this afternoon, it looks like, Buddy Baker.
Scott Hansen running a very, very good line through the corner. You see him coming off the back end of the cars very straight. Also doing everything he can, but I don't know that I would even want to chase that guy, and I'm sure right now that also would go. If he just slipped one time, but I got to tell you, that don't happen much with that 53 car.
Scott Hansen comes out of turn 4. He'll come to the line and win his 3rd 300-kilometer event here at Phoenix in the last couple of years. Here's the battle for 4th spot, and it'll be the 79 car. It'll be Gary Smith taking 4th spot behind Reed, Alsop, and your winner, Scott Hansen. Well, now we know who was telling the truth after that last round of pit stop.
Well, Hansen really drove a great race there, and he did what he had to do to win. And that's all a race car driver is supposed to do. Take a good car, manage it well, balance it well, tell the guys what to do. Good crew, good driver, and anywhere you see this 53 show up, you can just about bet that he's going to be in the top 5.
Scott Hansen wins his 2nd consecutive 300-kilometer event for the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour here at Phoenix in the fall. His 3rd in 4 tries. Played his pit stop strategy perfectly. Michael Alsop did a great job as well. The pole sitter comes back to finish 2nd today. So Scott Hansen's the winner at Phoenix this afternoon. We'll come back and talk to the winner in Victory Lane right after this. And that didn't go how I was thinking it was going to finish at all.
Let me tell you, anytime Scott Hansen's in the race, these boys will tell you, I mean, he's just as steady as a clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's Scott? Is that my jacket over there wadded up?
I don't know.
I bet it is. I bet it is, and I got to wear it tonight.
We'll send it out and get it pressed for you.
The only time, Gary, and it wasn't anything, it was just that I was talking about the lead, and somehow we got back in the...
Shake it.
Oh. Oh, thanks. You what?
Oh, they do. Okay.
Then we better watch how long we talk then. Gary, listen, like Sunday, if you're going to go back like that, just tell me when you're going to go back, and I'll shut up. Okay. Well, I don't want to be talking. No, right. I don't want to be talking about something that's not on the screen, though. Okay, then.
We are back at Phoenix International Raceway, the Featherlight Southwest Tour of NASCAR, 300 kilometers in the books. 2nd time in a row, Scott Hansen's come to victory lane. Glenn.
And Scott Hansen climbs out of his car victorious, like you said, Rick, 3rd time in 4 years. Waves to the crowd here. Well, in the How many annual running of the Scott Hansen benefit? Boy, you just have a knack for winning at this place.
This one here goes to Dick Trickle. We rode in this morning there. I was late getting in here, and he says, remember, right side tires, left side tires, and right side tires, and that's what we did. And track position was there, and I'll tell you, Family Channel, come on board, come out, Cox Communication, great deal.
Scott, you had some of those young guys, though, that didn't make it easy on you. They pushed you pretty hard all the way.
I'll tell you, I knew that 61 car was tough. I had to get out of the way of that 79. He was leaking some oil, and he was really getting me loose. So, you know, I just had to just go out there and ride, you know, and run like I always do here. And pit crew, just a heck of a job. Got me right back up where I needed to be, and then it was up to me.
Well, it was up to him, and it was up to the right man. He certainly does well here at Phoenix.
So Scott Hansen is the winner this afternoon, maybe the bigger winner of this one of the Rodman brothers, Chris Rodman. We'll talk to him in a moment. Here's the way the top 10 stacks up. Hansen, your winner, Michael Alsop, and Mark Reed with a great run today to third spot after coming back. He restarted deep in the pack a couple of times today. And Gary Smith, and we take a look at the second 10. Doug McCown, who ran very strongly, lost a couple of laps early, but comes back and finishes 11th today. Chris Rodman in the 93 comes home 20th. He missed a bunch of laps too with some rear end problems down there, but he wins the season championship. And we check out in 29th spot Bob Lyon, who was very tough today, got caught up in a couple of wrecks, lost all the bodywork off the car up in turn 3 midway through the event. We take a look at the rest of the order of finish here today. The NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour, 300 kilometers this afternoon. Scott Hansen wins his third in 4 tries here at Phoenix International Raceway. Let's meet the champion of this series for 1996. Here's Randy Pemberton.
Well, Chris Rodman has climbed from his car. You guys really showed what this team is made of today. You had a great run early on and then had some problems. Team fought back hard, and you're standing here with the championship.
Yeah, we had some problems with the car today. We ran real fast up front. You know, I guess we had a rear end cover come off. Something stupid kept us from winning this thing today. I'm not even sure who won the race today, but you know, after that happened, we went down about 15 laps, so I just figured we'd run around out there and just take it easy, try to stay out of trouble, and just finish the race so we could drive this car into victory lane today to celebrate our championship win.
Quickly, can you sum it up what this means to you to win the Rookie of the Year and the championship in the same year, young man, as you are?
Oh, I think I don't know how you'd sum something up like that. It's a dream come true. I couldn't have done it without my sponsors like West Coast Golf, Three Rivers Trucking, Dupre Investments, Page One Racing, and Worldwide Maps. We wouldn't be able to do what we did this year without all the support and help from them.
Okay, 1996 Featherlight Southwest Tour champion. Rick.
That is a storybook season indeed. Our congratulations to Chris Rodman, who turned in a great run all season long. Had some problems mechanically today, but certainly drove like a champion to come home the winner. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage today of the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour. Scott Hansen, your winner today. A lot of great drives and wild action. For Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, and Randy Pemberton, I'm Rick Benjamin. Our congratulations to race winner Scott Hansen and series champion Chris Rodman. We'll see you next time